G'day everybody, and welcome back to another modding, building, and fingers crossed, today is the publishing stream for my Scrapyard collection of mods. Now, I'm not in even remotely one of my test things right now, because what I need to do today is the final step in making sure that the whole kind of picture is complete, which is to make sure that the survival kit, the basic assembler, and assembler are able to only produce the things that I want them to do. And I need to be in a normal save first, because if I'm not, then I can't actually even place blocks like the assemblers, survival kits and things. So I need to make a blueprint that I can paste in, and then we can test to make sure that the stuff that I've got available to those blocks is right. Because what I'm ideally wanting to do is come up with something that's got well, what I'm ideally wanting to do is make it so the basic assembler can effectively transmute ammunition. So it can convert ammo from one type to another, and I'm possibly even considering adding that functionality to the survival kit, at least for handheld ammunition. So the survival kit can do handheld, the basic assembler can do handheld in between, can convert between handheld, Gatling, and maybe a not assault, autocannon and explosives, and then the assembler can do all ammo types. Because I think that'll be kind of the right balance, I hope. Because I do want players to be able to use these things. I want them to be usable once found. And thanks, Kenny Mart. Thanks for the Prime sub. And thank you very much, Taz, for the tier 3 sub for the past 15 months. Thank you very, very much. Have I considered adding boat wrecks? I did at one stage, and then I decided not to. One thing I was considering adding in that regard was something like little rusted out hulks, but I haven't gotten around to that. I've focused on other things first, so that didn't end up happening. Do I have any small solar panels in the thing yet? I don't know that I do, so maybe that's another thing. Oh, actually, that's really what I should be doing right now. Let's just open a regular notepad so I can keep it separately. Alright, so, things to do. Things to do before release. Confirm. Assembler constructions are correct. So I'm also going to give the survival kit the ability to turn stone into gravel, just in case people are playing with the paint gun mod. Oh, that's the other thing. The survival kit should be able to transmute some basic tools? Maybe? Maybe. Possibly. Then it was add small solar panel spawns. Yeah, okay, that's helpful for now. Thanks, Flashback Live. Thanks for the Prime sub. Yeah, things are going okay. And thanks, Archangel, as well for the Prime sub. So that should be all I need, I think, for this. Yeah. Part of me also wants to break refineries, just for people who decide to add any sort of mod that has a refinery block in. So maybe we'll do that too. I'm tempted. Should I bother? Should I just leave that as an option? I might just leave that as an option rather than breaking the thing for people who want to have it. If you want to have the ability to mine, you can have it. I'll just mess with the assemblers. Info. Assemblers.
Fuel critical.
Yeah, I really do like the finding better tools and feeling excited about it. Depending on what things I allow the player to process with, like if you will depend on what you can actually transmute. So with the basic survival kit, you can't actually make better tools, so I'll leave the survival kit out of it, I think. And all you can make are these basic components. Part of me is tempted to return steel plate and interior plate, but the survival kit can't do disassembly, so there's probably not much point there either. So I think it's really just going to be the turning stone into gravel. And then for the basic assembler, it can normally do the tier 2 tools. And then I'll set it up to have all of the ammo types. And it's going to have more ammo types than the usual, because I do think it would be relevant to have planetary-based stuff be able to convert ammunition to Gatling. And then basic assembler might get a couple of pieces, like being able to convert steel plate to interior plate and the like. All the hand-based weapon tools are in loot boxes, and I think most of the weapons are too. And then of course the full assembler I'll cut down. Alright. So, now that we've got that blueprint, we can exit. Pretty sure I've left parachute blocks craftable, but that's a good point. I should probably add canvas to the survival kit. Because that's probably going to be useful now. Where is it? Scrapyard test. I was just thinking before about what I'm going to do with the thumbnails for these mods, because there are several mods that work together, and I think I'll try and come up with a single thumbnail image that's the same for each, but I'll have a look through Space Engineer's own icons folder and see if there's an icon that kind of suits each mod type. Critical. So that'll at least give some coherency to what's going on there. Alright, what state am I actually in? Because I haven't even checked that. I have done some messing around, but I don't know how much. Okay, so we go to production. Currently... Alright, let's give this some stone. Currently the survival kit doesn't seem to be able to do anything. What happens if we do this? I get gravel. Okay, cool. You can get gravel. So this is working so far as I want it to. The only other thing would be potentially adding some of the blueprints for ammunition into this, but the more I think about it, the more the survival kit probably shouldn't have those things. So yeah, for those who joined a bit late, this is me doing the final testing and final, hopefully, adding to of my mods for the Scrapyard so that I can publish it, and then you guys can play it. Basic assembler. I think I've done some stuff. Oh yeah, there we go. I've added explosives. And added Gatling. And I should try and find the other pistol and rifle ammo types and have all them in here as well. I should probably change the tools. And I left these basic components to be able to convert between. You might notice the distinct lack of metal grids there. That was somewhat deliberate, because I thought that if I leave metal grids in there, it makes it very easy to make better tools. But I think converting between tools you've found is probably good, so I should bring the tools back to the menu. No, I don't want to. I don't want to change the computers with weld pads thing. I kind of like that the weld pads have that disadvantage. So I am very much planning on leaving that as is. Right. So the way this is all done is through blueprint classes and things like that. I think this was how I did it. Kit, components, scrapyard. Yes, here we go. So these are the blueprints that are available for these things. So basically what I've done is I've taken... Yeah. Oh, that's right. I had to change a couple of the... Oh, man. It's been so long since I did this. So the way you have to do this with Space Engineers is you need to define what blueprints, as in what things an assembler or a refinery can do. Then you have to define what that blueprint is, and then what that blueprint does. So, what I've got here is definitions for what the different things can do. So we've got the survival kit, which can just do the stone to ore basic thing. Then we've got the basic scrapyard, and then we've got scrapyard tools, we've got scrapyard ammo, and these are different groups, which then I can go to Cube Blocks. Where is it? Should be Cube Blocks production, maybe? No, because that's an XML. Where is it? Oh, yeah, here we go. Cube Blocks production. There we go. And then I go in here. We've got our large assembler. Where have I defined this? Yeah, here we go. Components, elite tools, build planner, elite consumables. Oh. I think I might have to get rid of the build planner from the assembler. Oh, no.
Energy low.
It appears there is a distinct lack of blocks here.
Fuel critical.
I search for something, does it show up? Good point. Let's search for... Nope. Let's check. If I place this down, grab my grinder. Then we go right click, add to build planner. Then we go over here. We go to our basic assembler. The assembler has all these bits queued, which are things it's currently able to do. Because I haven't restricted the assembler yet. Thanks, Yestergear. Thanks for the 200 bits. Gosh. I hope people are really going to enjoy playing this. I've been having a lot of fun so far. And even though the whole picture is not 100% complete, I think there's enough here to have some good fun with. So, this is all very confusing, but it's something I really do need to get working properly. I think I'll just remove the build planner section from here. And I'm going to need to create some new blueprint classes for the proper assembler that don't include all of these bits. Because the basic assembler, you can see now has basic components, scrapyard, scrapyard tools, scrapyard ammo, so it doesn't have anything else. So I think I need to do a similar thing here and go back over to my blueprint classes and create a few new classes. So the new classes are going to be the ones that are used for the assembler, the proper assembler. So I probably want to instead have a scrapyard tools basic, a scrapyard ammo basic, or a basic component scrapyard, basic scrapyard tools, and basic scrapyard ammo, and then have a proper one. Which means I'm going to need to rename a few things. I think that's probably a neater way of having it, because then it's at least consistent across the board. Yes, VS Code does have a can do rename all in things, but while I'm thinking of what to say as well as doing this, I tend to do things in ways that require less focus from me. And also make sure that I'm doing things right. Although I probably could just do the replace all in files with this one. So that's the basic component stuff done. Then we go across to here. And for my basic assembler, stand basic. Alflington, if you find issues, the best way to leave notes about that is on the mod page. Though there's going to be several mod pages, so... Half tempted to turn off comments on all but one, so that all the comments are kind of together. I have to think about that one. That's I hadn't thought about that. But yeah, generally best off just leaving me comments on the workshop page for things. Okay. So now we can go back to the blueprint classes and I can make a couple of new ones. Then we can have new components, tools, and ammo classes. But I do want to, before I do that, add a few more classes to the basic scrapyard ammo. Which means I need to go and open up the file from the actual... Space Engineers. I need to find their thing. Content, data. What am I messing with? Blueprint classes. Okay. I gotta find all of their ammo types in here. That's all our large blocks. Small blocks. Components. Consumables. Canvas. Ah! Let's do that while I've got it up. So let's copy that across. We'll go back to our blueprint classes and we're going to have that for a... I think you're going to have trouble making it from the survival kit, but I'll put it in the survival kit anyway. Wait, is it in... It's normally under the consumables bit, okay. Which is ammo. The ammo is some of the worst named stuff in the game. Agreed. The ammo in the ammo names in the game are complex because I think it's gone through about 5 different versions over the years of how they wanted to approach ammunition in the game, and other features they thought they were going to add to the game is my impression. So what's next? Let's keep looking. Consumables, semi-auto pistol magazine. Have I got all of those? Semi-auto pistol, automatic rifle gun mag 20 round. Yep. Full auto pistol magazine. No, don't have that one. Oh dear. This is basically what it's going to be like. Rapid fire automatic gun rifle 50 round. That I do have, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Grab auto cannon as well. Then I'm going to have to grab these pistol ones. And then hopefully on reload, we'll have the basic assembler able to produce all these things. Because in the setting that we're working with here, there's not a lot of problem with the player being able to convert between ammunitions. In fact, it's kind of what I would feel like is a good engineering answer to a lot of the problems is, well, I want to be able to convert between these ammunitions and I can break them down, I can build them back up. Oh, that's true, I can split the screen in VS Code, I know, but jeez. It's like having Black Shadow in the chat. I irritate Black Shadow something fierce with the stuff I don't use in VS Code. That she's like, why aren't you using that? Because I don't have those habits. Alright, so we've duplicated this one. Let's get rid of that. And explosives is not there twice. NATO 5p. Yep, that one's duplicated. Let's get rid of that. That one's not. That one is. That one is. Oops. That one is. Those ones obviously are. Okay, now we're good. No duplications there. I think NATO 5p56 by 45 is not normally craftable. Yeah. So I wanted to bring that back because a lot of NPCs and NPC grids out there still have some of this ammo on board, especially my own ACS ones. So if players want to have like ACS active at the same time, I think being able to break this down is good. So while, yeah, you correctly probably shouldn't have this one in here, I've put it in particularly because of the scenario that it's in, and I think it's sort of needed for players, because if you can't break down that this stuff, the generic ammo, you can't then convert it into other stuff. So you're stuck with it just as rifle ammo, and you can end up with a massive, massive pile of it. And that's just annoying if that's the only one you keep finding. It does allow you to cheat a little bit, because crafting this ammo is a really good way to give yourself a 30-round magazine for the precise rifle. But, you know, that's such a small gain that I don't think it's worth taking it away from the player. And it is in, and they've got it craftable in theirs. So I think it might be, whatever. It is what it is. So now we need to add to tools. I want to add the welder 2, grinder 2, hand drill 2. Grab that. Copy that and just paste it straight over that. There are some little bits of ingots and stuff like that you can find around the place, so it is possible you'll find the pieces to make these upgrades for yourself. Thorn, honestly, as someone who used Notepad++ for a long, long time, the main thing I like about VS Code, it looks heaps nicer. It is a much more attractive interface. That is honestly the main thing I like about it. It is just a better looking piece of software, which is really ridiculous when you think about a Notepad editor, but like a text editor, but it genuinely just looks nicer. I don't think I need to give different weapons. I think we can just leave those as is. Yeah, that's kind of it. Now I need to make my new classes, which are my non-basic ones. Yep, that's fine. These definitions here are just setting up where in the assembler it shows up. So whether it shows up under a like which icon and things like that. So we've got components, scrapyard, scrapyard tools, and scrapyard ammo. So it'll be copies of these ones, and then I'm going to add some extras to them for the full one. Yeah, I tried a bunch of different themes for Notepad++ and didn't find any dark mode themes that looked anywhere near as nice as this does. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I have people who... Oops, that's not the thing I wanted to do. I have people telling me what I need. Like, I have Shadow constantly giving me tips about how I can improve with it, so it works pretty well for me. I don't need much. I don't do any proper modding. I just do this rubbish. I'm more of a bodge it till it fits through, till the square peg fits through the round hole kind of person. All right, so we want, I think I want to let people be able to build this entire list. You'll have trouble finding all of the parts, but I think I want you to be able to build this entire list. Maybe I'll do it this way. And we'll go Control F, find that, replace with... Oop. Hello? Replace? Am I going to have a test play with Wasted? No. I don't think I'm going to have a test with Wasted, but I do hope to use something like the Scrapyard setup for a wrong way style setup with also the come on, brain, catch up, come on, brain, with also the Twitch integration. Once I figure out which elements of that will be fun in a setting that's fairly restricted on resources. Oh, this is going to be annoying. Replace, 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 replace. Skip, replace, skip, skip, skip. Cool. Next up. So that's the ammo, that's the tools. I don't really need to do much more with those. They should stay pretty much the same as they always were. I am noticing, though, that we don't have the consumables in that. Huh? Just going to put the canvas in here. And if I realize later that there's something else missing, I can add it then. Duh. Thanks, existence. Thanks for 9 months. Okay. Canvas is done. Those are all in there. Oh, I should have used... Oh, whatever. Anyway. Then we got the oxygen bottles. We got all the welders. We got all the handheld launchers. Now the components. This is the bit I'm not sure what I want to have in. I think giving... metal grids is fair at this once you've got the proper assembler. Because obviously you've got to get to space before you can get that. We've got construction components, we've got girders, we've got metal grids, interior plates, steel plate. Do I want small and large tubes? Yeah, I think so. We'll go small and large tubes as well. Being able to convert between those, I think, is fair at that stage. Probably displays too. I think kind of everything except... except reactors, thrust components, gravity gen components, and I think I'll add medical components in there too. Because one of the nice things about medical components is once you can break them down, you can use that for good tools if you've been running out of good tools. And probably these as well. I've got explosives and ammo, but whatever. All right. Construction, girder, interior plate, steel plate, motor, bulletproof glass, metal grid, small steel tube, large steel tube, displays, medical components, radio communications, detectors, and I just check if I do have explosives somewhere else. I do have it in ammo, so we'll get rid of it from here. Okay. What is the Twitch integration? The Twitch integration is something that Nev's been working on for me to use, which will allow you guys in chat to actually control things that happen in game, like spawning in wrecks for me to salvage, that sort of stuff. So hopefully with this published this week, I'll be able to set up a server which will have my currently running Scrapyard save on it. And instead of you guys using a Twitch reward thing, then I have to manually trigger the spawn. You can just use a thing and it'll more immediately spawn the thing. Because what I ultimately want to use the Twitch integration for is a way to kind of manage the pacing of a scrap series if we're running it on stream. So if things are getting hectic, people are going to be distracted and probably not spawn things for us. And if things are slowing down, then people will spawn more things, giving us more stuff to do. So it'll kind of, in a way, it dynamically adjusts the amount of things available for us to do, making the stream hopefully work a bit better. Vesek, I completely disagree. I do not want power cells, producible, scrappable, anything from assemblers. You got to find them. I want power cells to be valuable, and power cells are still producible. Why? Dang it. Oh. Has any of the stuff worked? We got this bit updated. Oh, I think I know why. I know why. I know what I forgot. New blocks production. Didn't change what the assembler does to the new classes. Still had the old classes. Now we reload. Brandano, with mods like or Scrap, Thraxis has managed to make some things where different grinders give you back different stuff, but I'm not doing that. One of the things I genuinely loved about Escape from Mars was that no matter how far you got through that game, finding a battery was special. Because finding an intact battery you could capture was really, really handy. Because you needed it. And I love the fact that no matter how far you're going to get through this, power cells are still going to be at a premium. I want there to be one component that is needed the whole way through that is at a premium. Because otherwise, you will always get to that point where everything is in abundance and you don't care anymore. And I've played enough Space Engineers that I don't want that anymore. There we go, this is working. Limited. And got the better tools, got more ammo options. Yeah, nice, this is working. Yeah. Yeah, Cutthroat, you'll be able to use all of the standard MES commands. If you don't like the build restrictions that I've got in place, it's its own mod. So the way I've divided things at the moment, the way I've divided things at the moment is I've got the Scrapyard mod, which is the one that sets up all of the different. That's the MES mod. So that's just the spawns. You can use that in any game, no matter what style you're playing. You can have my Rex available to you. Because I thought, like, even if I'm playing normally, like, I'm going to add this Scrapyard mod to Assertive Acquisitions. So there's random bits of scrap that we can find around the place. because I think that's interesting. The build restrictions is its own mod. The spawn rover is its own mod. And then I've got another mod to make it easy to set up a scenario, which is the MES settings, so that you can just have that mod and it will always make sure your settings are what I've been using in my test series to make it easy. What I love about the idea of power cells being rare and difficult is that if you're in combat and you lose 4 of your 5 batteries, but you manage to get out of it alive, or you're in a crash and you lose 4 of your 5 batteries, and you've got just enough power cells to repair one of them, you have to limp back to your base and you have to kind of engineer a solution around that problem. But if you're able to make new batteries, you just repair it. It's boring. Yeah, exactly, Julian. Solar. Solar is your answer. But like, as I said, you can change this yourself if you want to. I don't want to, and like, at the core of most modded gameplay experiences is what the author wants to play as. And yeah, yes, Gear, I agree. That's actually something I should do, which is make weak jetpack mod. So I need to add a separate, very weak jetpack mod that can just barely push you around in space. Because yes, 0 jetpack is bad, but I think this game mode is best experienced without a jetpack. That's what I reckon anyway. Because I feel like as soon as you've got a jetpack with this, and especially if you're playing with improvised engineering, kind of takes away from it all. Box, I see the capturing a battery by losing a power cell as a cost of capturing a battery. You can add other mods that allow you to do takeovers that mean you don't have to grind down batteries, and that's fine. I very particularly have tried to make this so that you guys can adapt it yourselves without much problem. And, like, if people want to take these mods and change them, that's okay. Just don't republish it with my thumbnail and name. Critical. Which is the only thing that annoys me when people do that on the workshop. Just don't use the same thumbnail. And Enra, I've considered messing with ore volume weight for normal mining-based scenarios. This scenario, you don't get refineries, so ore is basically just straight up irrelevant. Yeah, it is 100% something I've considered, and something I would consider again if I were restarting a Survival Impossible style setup, where I was trying to encourage logistics. But as it turns out, in my experience so far, the best way to encourage the building of logistics and transport type equipment is make it so you can't build blocks, because then you've got chunky things, not just stuff that magically fits inside your container. And you're limited by how many containers you can carry. Like, having to take a whole block or a whole section of a ship is a much more interesting logistical challenge than taking 1 million tons of ore that you could just transfer through 20 different trips. That was kind of where I came down on the logistics thing, but I think there's somewhere in the middle that has both elements that I think could be a really good sweet spot. But I haven't yet mucked around in going into that. Like something that you've got basically iron is huge and not particularly dense and refines down to not very much, but is still available, and maybe nickel and silicon as well. but then the more advanced stuff you just can't find on the planets anymore. You might find in asteroids, but it's going to be pretty rare, and so most of the time you're going to have to steal the blocks that have those things in them. So I think some combination of what you're working on and the block build restrictions could work as well. I just thought I'd go hardline on just the blocks for the first attempt, and then see down the line what sort of mixed modes might also be fun. What I'd love to see would be Keen deciding that this game mode is actually something valid and they just add it as a vanilla scenario. I've done it, it's clearly not hard. So, it would be incredible for them to go, actually, this is something we should do. Everyone should be able to play this as a game mode. It should just be a mode, not a fully modded experience. Perhaps even a thing that's only available once you check that experimental box so that new players don't immediately jump into it and go, what? How do I play? This is confusing. I just think that would be really cool. Right. Excuse me. Sorry. So, I've done this. Confirm assembler constructions are correct. I think I'm happy. Does anyone see anything I've missed? This can produce gravel, which is great. Ooh, I want to check something. Yeah, Scrapyard setting and advanced options or something like that. I want to add Digi's paint mod and see how it interacts. And see if I need to have a little bit of a compatibility thing for it. Because everybody loves the paint mod. And if they don't, they should. Because it should be vanilla. It should 100% have been vanilla years ago. And then get rid of the vanilla paint mechanic. Integrate it. It would be the best. It's one of those weird... It's one of those weird mods that's actually feels more vanilla than the vanilla method. Digi's paint mod, Anenra. Okay, so we can't make anything there. Can we make anything here?
No energy.
No. What about here? No. Yeah, I I don't understand why Keen haven't asked Digi to add that. There's got to be some layer I'm missing about it, but everything I can tell about the paint mod says it should be. They should have asked for it ages ago and incorporated it because it's just good. Right, I'm gonna have to open it up. Space engineers paint gun. No, a core that, like, Digi is always present, and I've never heard any remote issue with between them and Keen. So I don't think there's any issues. There's not even any rumor of anything like that. Like, it's odd. It just seems like a weird oversight. I don't know. Now, I need to go to Steam Apps, Workshop, Content, 244850, and then 500818. There it is. Da-da. think. Blueprint, paint gun. Ah, here we go. Class entries. So, blueprint classes. And then refineries, and I've actually used. I'm using a separate mod to enable my disabling of block building. Let me show you. Dip, dip, do. So Drago made this mod that allows me to override the public definition for blocks, which allows me to even overwrite the survival kit and basic assembler. I did find a workaround for blocking them, but this is how I do the block restrictions. So I've got this mod, which then I provide definitions to it. So it's kind of two mods, but this will be a dependency of the block definition blocking mod. I was asking for help on the Keen Discord, and Drago kindly came up with that for me. Yeah, and Enra, I've blocked projections. You can't build projectors. It's the same solution that was used in Escape from Mars. Okay, so I'm just going to give this to all of the things. Paint gun, and then the magazine can go in ammo. Do the same for these two. This one. Yeah. How would this interact with Industrial Overhaul? Terribly. Horrifically. Yeah. No. Everything I remember from when I mucked around with Industrial Overhaul is that that's a bad idea. Actually, it may be not. I don't remember whether it changed components in normal blocks. It may have almost zero impact because you can't mine anyway. Or it may have zero impact because the Industrial Overhaul stuff can be built normally because I'm not blocking it. Therefore, you can just do all the Industrial Overhaul. Therefore, there's no point adding it. It's going to have one of three effects. Terrible, game breaking. 0, you're stuck with the Scrapyard anyway. Or 0, you're basically running a normal game with the MES mod. So yeah, no, I consider them as incompatible. And I have no plans on making compatibility for the daily needs types mods or Industrial Overhaul or anything like that. No plans to do that sort of thing. All right. Let's load the game again. And test to see if I've got access to the paint gun. Darren, we're talking about the internet. Do you really think adding a list of do's and don'ts in the description is going to make any difference? I mean, I'll do it, but let's be real. How many people are going to read it?
Fuel critical.
Alright.
No
Production.
energy.
Tools. We have a paint gun. We have paint gun chemicals. Why did I change things? We have paint gun, we have paint gun chemicals. If I change the survival kit, we have paint gun chemicals and canvas. Hooray! Yeah, see, having been stuck with, oh, man. This cold air is not doing nice things for me. So, yeah, what was I talking about? So that's done. Paint gun's in. Fixed. Fixed. Yeah, so the compatibility stuff I'm not fussing over. If people want to figure out how to do that for themselves, be my guest. But as I don't tend to play with those mods, it's something I'm unlikely to commit time to doing. All right, we can close that. We can close that. Now, that should be all good now. The only thing I'm considering is adding in a tiny amount of silicon to the survival kit thing, but I think I'll just leave it. All right. So we had confirm assembler constructions are correct. That is now correct. We need to add a small solar panel spawn and make a weak jetpack mod. Let's do the weak jetpack mod first. So the way I'm going to set up when I get around to publishing this, which seems like it's not too far away, depending on how long it takes me to make a small grid spawn that has a solar panel. The way I'm going to publish this is in all the different mods, but then I'm also going to publish a scenario. If you just want to pick up, load up, and play, the scenario is the way to go. Because I will set up the scenario with everything it needs and make sure it runs, make sure it's all working, and you'll be able to pick which of the correct planets, and you can just pick up, load, go for it. You're done. If you want to be able to set up your own scenario, that's why I'm providing the mods separately. Because I think that's the better way of doing it. Part of me is tempted to make some of those mods unlisted. Actually, that might be a smart way to do it. I do the scenario, and in the scenario I'll link to all the unlisted mods, but the unlisted mods will remain unlisted. So they're still accessible to people who know what they're doing, but anyone who's unsure can only see the scenario. Oh yeah, I could do it as a mod pack instead of a scenario. That's true, Nenra. That might even be neater than a scenario. But yeah, okay. Let's just put that. Make scenario or core mod with dependencies. Yep, full assemblers are not available in the game in the scenario at launch. They'll only be available in space. So you'll be derping around on the planet for a while before you can get to space. Will this be available on Xbox? No. Unfortunately not. There are things being done in this that are not possible to do on Xbox, and I'm pretty sure things I'm doing that aren't possible to do on cross-play enabled servers. The scrap stuff for MES should run on a cross-play enabled server, but that's about it, unfortunately. So, jetpack mod. Grab. Files do I mess with here? I think it's just characters. Yeah. Alright, new folder. Scrapyard. Jetpack. Yes, Nev, that would be lovely. Do I want a simple script for the jetpack that works with all characters instead of just the defaults? That would be amazing, because that'll mean this will work on the custom Capac model, rather than him magically having the best jetpack. For those of you who've been watching Assertive Acquisitions, you might have noticed our jetpacks all of a sudden got good. And they got good when Capac joined, because we realized we weren't restricting his. Oh no, the invulnerable thing was because he became Shaq's corpse. By something. Shaq's corpse gave Capac invulnerability. That was it. It was something about Chipsticks making me a corpse of Shaq's model that he changed a definition, and it messed with Capac's particular model because they were using a shared resource. It was really hilarious. Yeah. Thanks, Ubi. Thanks for the sub. Yeah. Da, da, da. I just need to quickly do something because I've forgotten the formatting. Yeah, it's data scripts. Data. New folder. Scripts. Thank you very much, Nev. Jetpack.cs. Okay. There we go. We have a jetpack mod. This is why I do not consider myself a real modder. Tune the values in it, obviously. Because like this stuff would take me so much longer. Okay, so I think slowdown factor is the multiplier that's applied within a gravitational field to allow you to, like, for jetpacks to be powerful. So I'm just going to change that to 1. Those are not vanilla values. Yeah, the slowdown factor is normally 5, isn't it? I'm modifying a game that makes me a modder. Yeah, I'll accept that. I'm gonna drop this down to crazy low and just start real low. Okay, let's see how this works out. Oh, the few times I've tried to write a script. Oh my gosh. So back in the days where before we had MES to do things for us, I created the antenna variation script that was running on a programmable block to spawn in vanilla drones to attack me in survival maybe. It took me, no kidding, it took me an entire weekend to write a script that altered the antenna range on a timer and then reset back to the default and then expanded again. And in the whole weekend it took me to write that, I then approached someone who was obviously a lot better about this stuff than me. And I was like, is there a neater way to do this? And they came back to me 5 minutes later with the entire thing rewritten from scratch. And I was like, yep, that is my life. That is exactly what I expected. I know that's everyone's journey, but it's just one of those. I have pushed myself to learn things related to programming numerous times, and I've had incredibly good people teaching me, and people who are very good teachers as well try and teach me this stuff, and each time it's like starting from zero. I never feel like I've actually gained anything. I can fly around, at least on the ground. I cannot go up, I cannot go forward, backwards, left or right, but I can at least turn myself around and reach under things. So let's check it in space. There we go. I am very slowly accelerating. I am up to 7 meters per second. Oh yeah, I need to check if I can fly on the moon. I'm pretty sure I can't with what I've done. Now, what I might do, turn my dampeners on. I set it to 100, right? Yeah, I did. I'm pretty confident you can't fly on the moon. Isn't this going to make boarding any space wrecks painful? Yes. I think I might double the jetpack output, though. I'm just going to put myself on the moon. But, consumption's vanilla, so that's fine. I might slightly increase compared to... Oh, no, I'll leave it at vanilla, because you've got to boost for so long. Okay, on the moon, I can sorta... Maybe... I'm... Watch this. Da-da-da-da-da. Huh? Oh. Doesn't work in third person. Oh, yeah, it does. I'm sort of kicking my way along the ground. Yeah, I want something like Capac's boarding ship to be specifically required because you need it. Yeah, even with dual directional thrust, you get nowhere, which is perfect. But let's just check. Let's put this up to 250. Reload. In fact, no. Save. Reload. Moonworm style, yeah. Yeah, Nev, I want it impossible to fly on a moon as well.
Fuel critical.
Jetpack on.
No energy.
Okay, I still can't fly on the moon. But if we go out from the moon, we try and accelerate. At least this is a bit faster than before. Before it was just a bit silly. You can certainly try and hop your way across, but to try and slow down, you're going to be moving very slowly. You are not going to be able to Hydro Man with this jetpack. Which is exactly what I want. Cool. Nev, the reason I don't like having the slowdown is as soon as you add the slowdown, you make it so you can do weird flying in gravity that you can't do out of gravity. And I feel like at this slow, I could probably even double it from here. But at this slow, you are not going to... You're going to walk around if you can. You are not going to use your jetpack unless you absolutely have to. You're going to walk. Alright, insert a large grid. Let's pop in... Which one do I know has some good interior corridors? There we go. Me jetpacking across to it. Oh. Oh. Nope. Get my boots on. There we go. But yeah, you definitely need to have the jetpack in space because otherwise you could end up floating inside your own ship. Nerfing the jetpack is so much better than getting rid of it. And you're going to want to have gravity generators on your ship. The good thing about gravity gens and your jetpack is immune to gravity generators. Cool. Alright, I'm happy with that. We've done that bit now. Well, when I say we've done that bit, I mean Nev's done that bit and I'm just publishing it because thing. So we got jetpack mod. Assemblers are correct. So now we just need to add small solar panel spawns. Okay, so let's build some things. What should I make that has small grid solar panels? SE needs mag gloves. Yeah. Or grabby rails. Things that you can, like, something you can click on that kind of pulls you towards a thing. If you're within a reasonable reach of it. Would make 0G movement interesting. What am I doing? Scrapyard build world. Put them on the back of the flatbed I made. Yeah, I can do that. I need to find out why I still haven't seen one of those flatbeds. Oh, that's a thing I need to do. It's only 7:30, so Capac's still a long way off. I've got plenty of time for this. Balance spawn rates of civvy vehicles. Because I've been... Why is my jetpack still busted? This save doesn't have the mod. The changes persisted between saves. Huh. Strongest jetpack nerf ever. Yep. No jetpack for anybody. Hey, Metcha. That was that was an unexpected outcome. Yeah, I can fly. Okay, so these are the grids I'm talking about that have not made it into the Scrapyard save yet. And these are the ones that are kind of needed, because this has a large hydrogen tank, which would be kind of useful for small grid. This one has a cargo container. This one has a couple of atmospheric thrusters. This one has a few unfinished batteries. This one has a large hydrogen thruster. And this one just has a truck. But yeah, this flatbed would probably be something you can imagine a few solar panels being stacked on. So maybe I do just another version of it. At least for now. I was also thinking of maybe seeing if I can come up with a way to do it, like something that looks maybe even this camper, but with a solar panel awning on it, and do things to make it look like someone's actually set up a little camp with it. So I think that could be a cool way of doing it too. Because I'm jerk. Yep. There we go. Perfect. Info. Flatliner. Whoa, how many have I got? Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, there's 7 of these. These should be more common. I'm wondering if I haven't actually added them to the mod. Capac's food truck. The scale of Capac's food truck is a little bit off from the scale I've been working at. So I'm not sure that... I don't think that'd really work. I might go grab the original one of that. This little camper. Yeah, if I've added them, then RNG does hate me, because RNG is just constantly giving me jalopies. So pop that there. Then what I'm going to do is break out a whole bunch of stuff from in here. Kind of want to use... Actually, yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that. Grab that. I'm gonna use the broken one as my start point, because there was a whole lot of stuff I gutted from this that I didn't want in it. We're gonna get rid of the survival kit. And get rid of the battery. And this one should come with a functional solar panel. And I'll just adapt these blocks. So I've got some attachments. I don't know where that just went, so I'm going to undo. Like that. Little awning. And then... Perfect. I think this works really nicely. I just gotta try and think of what I can put inside to make it look like people were sleeping in here. That looks better than it has any reason to. I'd agree, Ubi. Yeah. But as soon as I thought about it, I was like, this is totally gonna work. There's no reason this shouldn't work. I can't do a bed because there's no small grid bed. I'll make a bed. Maybe I can make a bed. If I use these along here, and then use... Let's go grey and carbon fibre. Oh, that's going to look terrible. Weldless. Oh, cow! Cow! Good. Oh, wait, how does cow look on these? Oh, camouflage might work. Yeah, camouflage is okay. Actually, I think what I'll do... I'm going to go that, and then what I'm going to do is grab... There we go. Bed frame in wood. Yeah, this does look like the sort of thing that would have internal wood, doesn't it? Or maybe I should do the bed in a brighter weldless. Then go to... Man, I have way too much fun doing this. Then we go to wood. And we go for a brown. Bleached. Color. Something that'll do. There we go. We have a bed. I don't think anyone's going to walk up to that and misunderstand what that is supposed to be looking like. which I think is exactly what I'm after. Like, whenever doing these things, I'm always trying to make it look like a thing. Not... And so you immediately see it and like, yeah, that's that. No question. You're so right. You're so right. Ah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Uh. Where the plushie at? Perfection. I'm gonna have this in a bit better condition than the others, to imply someone was here a bit more recently. But more like they've made this. Now, the next thing to do is make a little table. Which can probably just come out from the wall. Let's get a chair, actually. And chair. Actually, that one can move a block forward from there. That's a bit too far over. That always looks so weird. Okay, I'm gonna have to go there. There. Oh, use the bench seat. Yeah, you're so right. I'm using the wrong seat. I should use the bench. Bench seat will look so much better. And yeah, panel instead of half slab, maybe, now that I've got these in. So the reason I was using the half slab there was because I felt like with the original chairs, the half height was right, but with these chairs, the single block height, I think, looks okay. Hey, Tex. Have I got LCDs anywhere on my hotbars? Unlock my... Oh, yeah, there we go. Is the chest thing actually an option? Arrow across, danger, no energy. I didn't think it was. White screen, grid, store, charts, coin, single coin, graph, blueprint. I think the chest thing is actually one of those text to image things. But I would kind of like to have something like that on here. Have a checkerboard, but there's no checkerboard pattern. Yeah, there's no grid that I saw. Did I miss it? Have the Windows XP background. There's grid in the beginning. Grid. No, that's this grid. Unfortunately. I might just not have that. I think this is enough. Maybe just need a little cooler with some plain cola in it. $10 plain cola. 5. There we go. Oh yeah, and a couple of bits of ice. Yes. Yes, totally. Needs to have some ice. Though it shouldn't be there, it's fine. There you go. Plain cola on ice. I think this is all I need to do. I think this thing kind of sells itself now. You come across that, you're gonna go, oh cool. That's a camp. I just love doing this stuff, and I love the idea that you guys, even though you've seen me make it, are going to be excited when you find it. And I love the idea that someone who hasn't seen me make this stuff is going to be excited when they find this stuff too. Now that's number 3. Antonio Banderas, number 3. Would panelify the table? Alright, yeah, let's try that. Oops. No! I thought it was meant to undo vanilla painting and I just undid the block. Keep the wood on the fridge. No, I kind of want the fridge to look like a bit like one of those red plastic or blue plastic coolers. Or as I know them, Eskies. Especially in the desert, that looks good. Yeah, freight containers are unfortunately large grid only. So happy with that. Cool. So we now have solar panels, which means I need to copy that. F11. Export. And then copy that. F11. Export. Yeah, lawn chairs are a bit of a tricky one. I actually kind of could. Sort of. Maybe? Make something that looks like a lawn chair of sorts. I'm gonna make a thing that looks like a chair. Let's go with that. I have a way to spawn this in as well that I already know I can use. Huh? Yeah, Nordic design, exactly. I was just like, to get the legs to work, I feel like this is kind of the way you'd have to do it. Alternatively, it'd be this. Which may work better, possibly. I don't know which one I feel is better. Maybe without the armrests. So which of these do you think looks more like a lawn chair? The other thing I can do to make it more lawn chair-esque is this. Yeah, the armrest didn't work at all. The challenge I have now... Thanks, Yestergear. Yes, the goal is to publish today. This one's easier. It's fewer blocks, and I just need to work out how I'm going to attach this light armor panel down the bottom to this one, to the one that's the part of the seat. That work as a... No. I mean, oh, that's... Idiot. I mean, the way I should totally do this is just have these as stools around a campfire. Oh yeah, the barred windows. Could work. Maybe. Especially once ground down, because they go like that. Make seat double. Let's just copy this before I... the approximate time that Icarus starts is when Capac wakes up. Since it's only 8 o'clock right now, it's not particularly soon. I think the curved is too curved to be useful. Because it goes through a full 90 degrees, it's, yeah. Yeah, it's too curved. One thing I do just want to check is if there's any block that might... I gotta figure out how to attach the seat to this front leg before I do anything else. Because annoyingly we can't use the normal techniques that I use in large grid. I wonder how bad this looks. terrible. Have the legs on the side instead. Same problem. Annoyingly, the sides create the same problem unless I put armrests on. If I put armrests on, then yeah, I could do side. That actually kind of works. I reckon that's pretty good. I reckon that sells it perfectly. Huh. Oh no, I want this to be like a foldy chair, not anything that has cushioning. Huh. Okay, so now the tricky bit. I need to paint these probably with heavy rust and see what, so that we don't have the shiny metals. Then there's a reason I'm keeping these small, even though I know a lot of people are suggesting I make them bigger. The reason I'm keeping it small is because I want to be able to drop 2 of them in this tiny little space. And what I'm going to do is, to do that, I'm going to make a bunch of batteries that get deleted. And I'll attach to those. Break that off. Let's see if this can even sit upright. If spawned properly. Oh yeah. Okay. It's stable enough. Huh? Why won't you snap to anything? Oh, sure, why not? That works. Let's drop that, actually. The lower down these are, the better the chance of them not tipping over. Although the higher the chance of them exploding. On there. There. Yeah. Oh, so now I just need to rename all those batteries to delete this block. And hopefully, on the rare occasion this gets spawned in, all those batteries get deleted. And we have 2 little lawn chairs right outside the van. It's too cool. Delete the previous export. Control C, F11, export to file. That's. Oh, I love making these little vignettes. They're so much fun. Okay, so. Yeah, it totally is the details on these things that make them right. I think I might. Oh, this has got a little hydrogen tank. And the solar panel's the valuable bit. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I now need to have a look at all the stuff. Spawn groups, vehicles, civilian. Now, these scooter ones seem to be showing up a lot. Like, I don't understand why they're showing up so much more than the others. It's probably because there are 3 variants of them. But are the trucks in here? Tom Cruiser, Flatliner. Yeah, we got Flatliner 1. Maybe it's because I set the frequency a bit lower. I'll put these back to 2. Maybe it didn't like a non-integer frequency. Amazing how from a single solar panel you get this. Pure joy. Yeah, 100%. Okay, so we add the Flatliner number 7. Cool. Oh wait, it was always written as 2.0. Don't know if it matters. I don't know whether these things care, but I'm just going to do it as the default. Oh yeah, I only changed part of the 07. I need to change the subtype. Here. Okay, then... There, sure. That'll work. Scrapyard. Prefabs. Civilian vehicles. Antonio Banderas and Flatliner. Also need to replace Hangar 03, apparently. I've copied out an extra one of those, so let's bring that across. Where's the Antonio Banderas? Here it is. I've been tempted by some of the... I've been tempted to create a crashed airliner at some point. Because, yeah, we've got these little fighters, but have an airliner body segment, I think would be kind of cool. And I think it could be a good way to add in a few extra things. So I might add that to my list of things to add, which is in my build ideas. Airliner body. That works. So in theory, that's everything done. Now, I just want to try and spawn in some of these vehicles a few times and make sure that they're working. So we'll go back to our triggers. And I'll remove everything except for the vehicle civilian things. I just grab that. Go to back over here where I've been dumping this stuff when I'm using it. Oh, Scooter 03. I of 4. It keeps exploding. Alright. That should do us. No, not crash ships with ion thrusters. You get ion thrusters in space if you want ion thrusters. Because commenting them out takes longer than deleting them. That's why I don't comment them out, because Space Engineers does not like multi-line comments beyond a certain amount. I have caused no end of issues when I used to comment out big chunks of my MES mods, and then Lucas was like, yeah, that doesn't work. You kind of can't comment out sections that big. It doesn't like it. That's true, Nev. It may well not work within an MES text string either. How much of space is ready? 0. There is 0 space ready. There is no space ready.
Fuel critical.
Steal list.
No energy.
Little things. So there are no large grid thrusters to be found. And that's intentional. We do not have our Antonio Banderas number 3, and we have still got all the other stuff. What? Did I not save that when I did that? I did not save that. Helps if you save it. Yeah, Nev, I saw that the update is launching. So I probably won't do a scrap stream straight after. I might well muck around in the update first, rather than doing a scrap thing. Because the update is launching, I will probably mess around with some other stuff.
No energy.
Let's try that again. Alright. Wait for all those to disappear, because then all the things will have probably spawned in. Oh, we still don't have an Evanderis number 3. Or any of the truck. What is going on there? The scooter's not in the ground, so that's something. Okay, let's have a look. We got my triggers. There's my spawners. Maybe I didn't add it to my spawners properly. Maybe that's where I've gone wrong. Oh, it isn't. I'm such a dope. It's not in my spawner lists. Oh, no wonder. Okay. Let's fix that up. My spawn groups don't actually have the new spawns. Let's add the Antonio Banderas first. I've got a whole bunch of different vehicle spawns because I've got different rarities of things, and some do slightly different spawns. And there's a Danger Zone 2 now, isn't there? Yes. Hangers do I have? Up to 7 now. Apparently when I was doing this I was quite tired and I was not paying attention to what I was doing. 5, 6, 7. Highway I haven't changed. Power lines I haven't changed. Don't think I've added any dumpsters, service stations. Yeah. All right. Now I just need to add in my trucks. So, vehicle civilian. Where are my trucks at? Flatliner. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Lucas, you mean getting my mod ready for the MES fork? Where I'm gonna take my MES and I'm gonna make a better one with blackjack and forget the whole thing. So I'm actually gonna add these flatliners to the military ones as well. To that. Add them to that. Add them to that. That should do. Close a bunch of these. I've got too many things open. I can't see what's what. Okay. Please work. Please, 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 please.
Fuel critical.
Let's delete everything.
No energy.
Okay. We have some flatliners. We have some small grids, which worries me. Something's exploded. And I think it's the flatliners. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Thank you so much, Core. Thank you for the 5 gift subs. So Flatliner 03 seems safe. And Flatliner 07 does not. In fact, 2 of them seem to have spawned inside each other, which is concerning. We do not have a Vandaris 03. Okay. So, let's go back to our vehicle civilian. Let's lift these up a little bit. Let's just do it this way. Try that again. Yes. Getting scrap, even more scrap. Oh boy. Isn't the 07 the solar panel one? Yes, it is.
Fuel critical.
Alright. Clear everything again.
No energy.
Let's see how many have exploded now. Oh, we got a Vandaris 03. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. It's in the ground though. Curses. Okay, it needs to go a little bit higher. Let's fix the Vandaris 03 then. Where are you, Antonio? I probably should have made these alphabetical. Let's move you up to 3 meters. Okay, Flatliner 03, are you in the ground? No. You are on the ground, you are not in the ground. Perfect. Flatliner 04. You are on the ground, not in the ground. Yes. Those suspensions that poke through, they don't have collisions, so they don't count. And Flatliner number 6. The Antonio Vandaris on the back is also on, not in. And number 7 with the solar panels. On and not in. Yay! Winner! The Vandaris is great, Eisen. It works really well in this. Okay. Delete everything again. Everything's saved. So let's reload. Try that again. And Now, all I gotta do is just make sure that these vehicles all spawn outside the ground so they don't explode, and then we can work on publishing these, I think. No, Yestergear, because for some reason, the way that I've been copying and pasting these grids, the spawns
No
are
energy.
doing weird things. They don't all spawn at the same height, even if they're a copy and paste of the same grid. So I have to adjust them individually, and if I set them to be too high, then they get damaged on landing and they cause voxel deformations, which causes performance problems, which we don't want. So I have to set them up individually. Thanks, Leatherboy. Thanks for the gift sub. Okay. We have two O3s. Excellent. Oh my gosh. It worked. Look at that. Oh, that's so good. I should probably have gotten rid of the exhaust. Oh, Lucas, while you're here, is it possible for me to get ice to spawn in A2H2 gens using the loot table? Thanks, Leatherboy. Because I think I tried to set it up to do that, and it didn't work. Oh, I'm stoked. I'm stoked. So happy. Let's see if the other ones spawned all correctly. Oh, and one of the chairs is tipped over in this one. That's perfect. So sometimes they'll be upright, sometimes they'll have tipped over. Well, while Lucas is here, I might have a look at the ice, my attempted ice spawning. Let's just quickly check these flatliners. We've got Flatliner 01, which seems fine. And Flatliner 02. We've gotten different flatliners this time, which is good. This one seems pretty good. This truck was meant to be one that you kind of basically find intact and you can repair and use, but it doesn't give you much good other than the cargo container. And then the number 5, that's the thruster. That looks great. And then number 6, which I think we checked before. Yep. Yeah, I'm not worried about the blocks on the mattress that don't match the mattress. I'm not worried about it at all. It's fine. Why do I have something that exploded? One of my clang... No, that one's correct. That's that. Why have I got all these small grids? No, that's the chairs. Where are you? What were you? This looks like it could be... Which grid is this? I think this might be a... Alright, I'm going to have to go and load up the other thing and try and work out which one that is. It's not labelled. No. I'm not sure if it's Russia's Jeep or if it's a different one. Lucas, would it give me any info back if it's no longer an MES grid because the control, like the remote control's been deleted? Oh no, I've lost my jetpack again. Alright, let's just do it in spectator. I don't know what it is. Nev's script seems to just be like, nah. I think it's one of the scooters that keeps exploding. Actually, no. Was it this grid? Or was it one of these? Because it's got to be one of those two. This doesn't look like any of these. No, Nev, I've actually not got it set up so you can spawn it in by name. Because you don't, none of these are actual spawns, they're separate. It was this, wasn't it? Because it had the windscreen. Alright, let's raise them all up then. Darius is fine. Been having troubles with the scooters the whole time, so I'll lift them. Jalopy, Rush Jeep. Let's lift you up a bit. Let's go to another 2 meters. Probably won't damage anything. Just ready. Scooter. Okay. Hey, Modern Mercenary. Welcome, Raiders. Okay, so I've raised them all now, so hopefully that's not a problem. Nev, do you have any idea why your script that changes the jetpack seems to apply across saves? It's quite strange. Oh, because it directly changes the jetpack definition. So it's not like changing a modded file. You're effectively applying a change to the game file. So the only way to fix it is to reload the whole game. It's probably not ideal, but I guess it's not too terrible. Yeah, we got nothing here.
No energy.
Let's try a bunch more spawns. I don't know what you mean, Snake. Flatliners look fine. There's no random broken bits. We've got a scooter that's intact. We've got a decent mix. Got some Vanderises, some Flatliners, some Clang trucks, some Jalopies, some Rust and Readies, a Tom Cruiser. Oh, you're asking everything. That would be why I don't understand it. Let's do another bunch. And then if this is right... There's only one other thing I need to do. Alright, we've got a Vandaris 03, just checking it. Oh, I got here as the chairs fell down. Lovely. Flatliners seem fine, except for when two of them spawn inside each other. You know what? This is a thing that can happen, and it's also a thing that I'm not sure I really care if it does happen. So it's a rare occurrence, so I think I'm just going to accept it as a thing outside my thing. Outside my control. Basically, the mechanism that I use to spawn a couple of things near each other, but at random orientations to each other, it would take an incredible amount of work for me to make it so that these would never sometimes spawn in each other. It happens rarely enough that I'm kind of like, I'm just accepting it as part of intended behavior. It's a bug that becomes a feature sort of thing. Because I think we'd lose more by me fixing it in a easy way. If I did an easy fix, we'd lose more than what we lose by having the occasional things exploded and being like, wow, cool, this is different. Right. Build ideas. Let's bring everything back. Got everything back. Delete that because I've done it. Cool. I'll be back in just a minute. I've got to do a quick bio break. Then we're going to look at the ice spawner. And if it doesn't work for the O2H2 gens, what I'm going to do is just put it in the cargo containers, the regular old cargo containers. But I'll be back in just a minute.
Fuel critical. No energy.
Okie dokie. Oh, I'm still so proud of my little Capac waiting screen. So, with regards to ice, right now, I haven't gotten rid of the ability for the player to build grid drills. I'm thinking maybe I should. In fact, I think I will. I'm going to get rid of the player's ability to build grid drills. I'll leave welders and grinders for the moment, but I'll probably get rid of them eventually too. But you've still got hand drills, and ice is still drillable. So you can still refuel normally. but I'd also like to create the option of just collecting ice from the grids. Now, I'm suspicious I've stuffed up my loot profile. So I've got this O2H2 loot, which, if we go to that one, I wonder if I've messed up this definition. I think I've got them right, but I'm not sure. I wonder if these container block types are wrong. But then also, the container types, we go to O2H2 loot. I'm not sure that this is right either. Oh, it should be, the large block one should be null. Okay. I'm glad you're back, Lucas. Because, yeah, this is the bit that I was very uncertain about. That should be that. Oh, the grid welders, I'm not going to get rid of them in the sense of you can't find them. I'm going to get rid of them in the sense that you can't build them, but you can find them. I've currently got one welder in and one drill that you can find. So that's why I'm thinking of getting rid of the drills. The rest seemed like it was okay. O2H2 loot. Do you think because I got this bit wrong, it might have stopped all of the spawning from happening, Lucas? Is that possible that it just because it failed on this first check, it didn't do the rest of it? So I'm going to do minimum blocks 1. So we always have 1 do it. We shouldn't. We'll just say the block doesn't exist and move on. Have I got the right container type? Have I misnamed that? That looks like I've misnamed it. I've misnamed it. I think that's where I've done it wrong. This is wrong. This should be that. Duh. Why am I like this? Yeah, Mavelite, I can't use the new dad argument because, one, I made that mistake long before I was a dad. And two, until bottle feeding becomes a thing, I lose some sleep, but not an awful lot because I don't have the capacity to feed.
Fuel critical. No energy.
So my other half has been taking the brunt of the sleepless nights, but I have been doing what I can. Yeah, get up, change them, hand them off. That's about as much as I can do. Yeah, R-Type, it's a skill issue. I know that's not necessarily what you're talking about, but I think it's funny in this context. Alright, hopefully something I have spawned has an O2H2 gen, and we can find some loot inside it. Because that's the last thing. Billboard doesn't. Dummy grid doesn't. Feed troughs do not. That flatliner doesn't. That flatliner doesn't. That flatliner doesn't. That flatliner does not. The fly-by-night might. No, the outhouse doesn't. You don't. You don't. One of these sheds might. Alright, let's have a look at the sheds. Oh, I'm out of power. I do not have the infinite suit power mod of Lucas's on here. Ah, wrong shed. Think of any of these that might. That's the survival kit one, so it doesn't. That wind turbine obviously doesn't. This clang truck might. Aha! It does. Yes. You out. And we have ice! Yes! Ha! That's it. That's all I needed. That's perfect. Ah. Yes, 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 yes. Ugh. I really need to go inside and get my puffer. Okay, I think that's actually everything that needs to be done. We've added the small solar panel spawns. I've fixed the what I thought were spawn rate problems, but were actually just not spawning at all. And now we just need to make some thumbnails and publish. Talk the regular ore. I haven't changed ore spawning at all. Oh wait, no, there is one thing I need to do. I haven't changed ore spawning at all, so there's nothing changed there. Ice ores will be exactly where they always have been. What I need to do is adjust my build restrictions because I want to get rid of the drill. I don't know where the drill is in the things. I think it's in one of these. Keyblocks tools, probably. Core, I'd like to do something like that in the future where, you know, there are little things renamed to things that match up, but I don't have that many of them set up at this stage, so what I should probably just do is rename the ones that are manually set up, like the one in the Antonio Banderas that I did. Okay, so do I have cube blocks tools over here? I do. So I got rid of the ore detectors, and now I'm going to get rid of the small and large block drill. In fact, I might do this way. So we need type ID, which is drill. Small block drill. Then where's large block drill? There we go. That was the same type ID, wasn't it? Yep. Cool. Done. Blazy, you can still find the drills. You just can't make them. And this playstyle doesn't really lend itself to big underground base. You need to be a bit more... You're probably going to want to be more mobile. Because you're going to need to be constantly moving to go around and collect stuff. So this is more nomadic than setting up a really big fixed base sort of thing. At this stage, Storm Herald, no, there's no basic refinery or refinery that you can find. I do think it would be nice to have on planet a basic refinery that can refine scrap to iron or gravel, but to iron probably. But I haven't done that yet, and I don't think it's needed for the gameplay to function. At this stage, you're still just going to be throwing away any scrap you find. Ah. Thanks, Nev. Let's fix that up. New jetpack mod. And now, hopefully, we'll get our stuff back. Our jetpack function back on unload. Okay. Let's do a quick load. Oh, this isn't a dry throat cough. This is a wheezy cough. It's really annoying. I've already gone through like 1.5 liters of water this morning.
Fuel critical.
Now let's delete a whole bunch of things. I'm just gonna go
No
through
energy.
and try and find another O2H2 gen and just make sure that things are in fact working. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to get any small person pox until he goes to daycare. Antonio Banderas 03 does not have an O2H2 gen. I don't think any of these dumpsters do. This excavator does not. The fences definitely don't. Flatliner doesn't. That doesn't. That hangar might. That doesn't. I don't think I've got any large grid O2H2 gens. All of the large grid blocks I'm not too worried about because I'm going to make sure that they're all in space. So anything you can't find on planet, you do have the chance of finding in space. No. No. Wow, spawned the same one. See, this jalopy has a drill. That's your one drill you can find. So it's pretty rare. think I've got anything with an O2H2 gen that spawned this time. Oh well. Let's delete it all and try again. Pretty confident you can... You can find small grid air vents. So you can make a pressurized small grid. The idea is you leave planet with a small grid. My concept is that you might be able to make a large grid base, but you will leave the planet with small grid. Because I think that works nicely. To create that extra bit of progression and sense of progression. Don't think this has any O2H2 gens on it either. It's that feeling of once I get to space, I can build big. Yeah, this has just got engines. Okay. Oh yeah, and as soon as the update drops, I will be adding the... I'll have to come up with some builds that have the new blocks, and I'll remove the new blocks from the build menu. I don't think anything else with an O2H2 gen spawned this time either. At least that scooter wasn't exploded this time. Maybe this shed? Nope. See? Vents. You got vents. Aha! This one is. Yes. Blam! It works. We've got ice. Ice to be found. I'm happy. This is good. Alright, cool. So, what I was going to do was... Open up some Photoshop. I think one of my existing thumbnails might actually work well for the mod. Probably not that one. Don't think that's the best one. Nor that one. Though that one kind of works because the engineer's holding a grinder. That one, maybe. Not that one. Is gravel on the loot table? No, but your survival kit can make it. I thought one of these was... Ah, that's it. That's the one. I think that's the thumbnail to use. Have a look at these old Scrapyard ones that I had as well. Oh yeah, that... No. 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 This one, maybe. Obviously different font, because I don't like the font. Yeah, I think the crane and office building one is the one to go for. I think it gives the right vibes. And it's still instantly recognizable when it's tiny. Let's shrink that down a bit. Actually, maybe let's try bigger. Then up. Bring it down. Yeah. Think that works. Yeah, voxel destruction does need to be on. My initial dreams of it potentially being able to be off, no. Um, if there's no voxel destruction, there's no damage to grids from hitting voxels, which is real weird. I don't think I really need to worry too much about this blue coming through here. It's not that big a deal, but I'll just clean up a little bit of it. I um I don't think this will be too harsh on performance in general. So one of the things you might notice when I go into this list is that I've named all of the grids with this prefix. So if you carefully rename all of the grids that you want to keep, including your loose things on the ground, or stand in the middle of your base and go sort by distance from players, then you can just delete everything that's far away if you're having performance problems and then allow them to respawn. But if you're having performance problems, just, yeah, periodically delete your grids because you are going to need to turn... Oh, that's why I want to do a scenario, because I'm not sure, but I think if I turn off... If I suspend scrap, like if I suspend cleanup, it might stay for the scenario. I don't know if that's the case. But yeah, you're definitely going to need to turn cleanup off and do manual cleanups. Or modify cleanup so that if we go trash removal, it'll need to be with less blocks than, say, 4. You can do. So, back to what I was doing, which is making a thumbnail. Now, what I want to do is go into... Not that. We go back. I've opened up the wrong window, but I don't need the other thing anyway. Content. Textures. I think it's in. None of those. Icons. So I was thinking of using one of these, some of these icons as the way to differentiate between the different mod components. So let's just have a look at what mod components I have. Not that. So I've got the core mod, which is the MES mod. Then I've got the build restrictions. Then I've got the jetpack. And then I've got the rover. And then I've got the settings. Which I need to update that mod, actually. Let me just do that before I forget, because Gruzzup gave me a better script for it. I don't know where I just opened that. Apparently I don't have 7-zip installed properly because I've got none of the context menus for it. Interesting. I might have fixed that. Why is 7-zip not working? Okay. Oh, not add to archive. MES config script. Okay, let's try this again. So MES settings, data, scripts, config script. Just going to copy these. So basically what this mod does is run a few commands on game start. And because you can send MES settings commands this way, it means I've got things that apply settings immediately on load. Copied. Now we're going to go get sidetracked and doing things. There we go. Turn off combat phase. Reduce the spawn cooldown. Reduce the distance trigger. Reduce the minimum distance from players. And reduce the minimum distance from other grids. So that's all that needs to do. I don't know that there's a chat command for suspend cleanup. Does anyone know if there is a Space Engineers chat command for that? Because, like, there is for weather, but that was that because weather was a mod. I don't think there's a chat command for it. So this particular thing won't apply the settings, but I'm hopeful that trash removal is a thing that's kept at a scenario level. Final, there probably is one for MES cleanup. It just may not be documented. My experience with chat commands in MES is I'm like, I don't know the chat command for this, and Lucas just goes blip. Yeah, I think that was my hope, Nev, is that scenarios are just packed up saved games, so it should keep everything. Let's close that. So we fixed that now, so that shouldn't cause the issues, and I'll have to fix the other one later. So we were looking through icons to decide icons for the different mod types. So actions. What do we reckon? The main one should probably not have any icon, and then the rest of them can have an icon. Just trying to think what I should have for MES. I haven't turned lightning off. There's mods out there that can do that. You guys can choose to add those. I'd probably recommend it. Mainly because lightning sucks. I don't think I want ammo. Animations. Helmet, nope. Blueprints. Ah. Alright. So... That over there for a sec. Base engineers. Let's see. Workshop. Scrapyard. So this will be Scrapyard core. Let's close all the others, and I'm going to save this to a few different names, and then I can just work on each one as we go through. So then we've got Scrapyard Jetpack. Then we've got Scrapyard. What are the other things I said I need? Scrapyard settings. Scrapyard scenario. Build restrictions. And spawn robot. So yeah, I think that's all of them now. Once I do that one. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got, and I've got. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus the scenario. Cool. That makes life easier because then I can just open these up. It's so annoying doing this stuff. I could just use the exact same thumbnail, but I think that'll get really confusing for people, so I don't want to do that. I'd rather have an independent one for each thing. Just opening up all the different ones. So we can start looking at what icons will work. So build restrictions. Probably something like a blueprint, right? Some sort of blueprint icon. The mod.io ones seem to be in higher resolution. Do they? Maybe not. Yeah, they are, slightly. Let's pop that in there. Make it a lot bigger. Realize how terrible it looks. And decide that I'm going to have to find icons elsewhere. What? Oh, right, of course. Need to do this. Bring it above. Select. Color range. Could do that. Yeah, cleaning up unpowered grids is not an option with the way I've set up this mod. You will have to, have that function off. Because most of my grids are unpowered. Yeah, oops. Yeah, maybe it'd be better in the upper right. Yeah, actually, that's probably best, isn't it? Maybe like that. Yeah. Yeah, that works. Okay, so that's the build restrictions. I can now save that as a JPEG for the thumbnail. Then we go to jetpack. Now I need to find an icon for a jetpack, which could be the rocket icon, which I thought I saw a rocket icon somewhere. Broadcast, browser, buttons, component, contracts, HUD. Oh, there's probably like a jetpack on-off icon, isn't there? I missed it. I just passed it called jetpack. Really? Oh yeah. Here we go. Perfect. Do, do, do. That looks weird. Trying to see which way around this might look best. Kind of works, I guess. Uh, there we are. I'm happy with that, I think. I don't want to spend too much time on these. I just want to spend enough time that they're clearly marked when I publish them shortly. So we'll save that as a JPEG as well. The reason I have to save these as JPEG is because they always seem to have too much information to be a PNG and stay under a meg. Settings. Let's find a little settings cog. Pretty sure Keen don't mind me doing this. I feel like this is probably okay, since we're reusing so much of their stuff anyway. There we go. Set up voxel hand. Perfect. Yeah, I was thinking about this last night. I'm like, yeah, this is totally the best way to do this. Yeah, it would be. That's kind of been my approach to all of this, is that they don't tend to get worried about people using um, their own assets in something for their own game. I think we use this for the spawn rover. I think that works. I love that the ears on this are quite clearly a reference to the spotlights on our helmet. Love it. So yeah, this is the process I go through when I'm creating thumbnails for mods. All right, now, here's the thing. Should the scenario be the blank one, or should the core mod be the blank one? I think the scenario should be. So what icon to use for an MES NPC type thing? Or should I just use like the radial menu as like a core? Because it kind of symbolizes, it kind of looks like it could symbolize core. I pop a rover on the dune for the rover one. I think I maybe, but yeah, I don't think I'll worry about it. Radial menu or power icon. Yeah. I think I like this radial menu. I think it works. But yeah, I was thinking about this and going, oh yeah, this is going to be a nice, easy way of creating some good, clear visuals of what part's what. There was a crate with a parachute icon? Is there? Because that'd be a better respawn icon. I like the death thing, but that would be better. No. I mean, I could try and find the parachute icon, which is somewhere in the game files. Okay, that's core. Save that one. Got scenario and save that. All right. Progress is being made. That's not where I want to be. I think either of those are where I want to be either. All right, mods. So, Scrapyard. This gets Scrapyard core thumb, and I just rename it to thumb. Build restrictions. Deal. Been checking the workshop, but forgot to check Twitch. Yep. This is... I feel really good about this. This is... I also feel good about the timing of this, because I'm getting this done just in time before... I reckon Catback will show up in about an hour. For some Icarus, so I'm right on track. There we go. Thumbnails are in. Oh, side note. Can anyone in chat think of a reason why I shouldn't include in my short range, in my long range search? Why does that say short range search? Right. Can anyone think of a reason in my long-range searchlight mod that I shouldn't include regular spotlights and increase their range too? Because I've been tempted to do that. Because it'll save me having to load up a separate mod for that. And in theory, some people might have mods that they want to use to change it, but hopefully they like mine. Yeah, but TF76, if there's already a mod for that, but then why have two mods when I can just have one that does it? I'm just recording? Yes. Sure, why not? Well, the Searchlights DLC as well, TF, so it doesn't matter. My mod is DLC only anyway. Does it have the same fill? Because I've noticed they seem to extend length at the expense of area. I'm not sure. I'd have to test that. Alright. Publish Spawn Rover. Steam. I think this one can go to mod.io. Lock. Respawn chip. Do. Yes. There we go. Spawn Rover. Change visibility. Unlisted. Edit title and description. A customized drop pod designed for use with salvage only survival scenarios. Don't know why I capitalized the first S. This pod is for use on oxygen-rich planets only, e.g. Earth-like Triton and Platinum. There we go. That's the spawn rover done. Mod.io is such a pain. I'll deal with that later. I really hate the way that it handles uploading stuff. Spawn rover's done. Let's do the jetpack. Okay, that's done. Let's change visibility to unlisted. A weak jetpack mod to allow for looking under things, but no flight other than in 0G. For use with my Scrapyard series of mods. Script courtesy of Nev. All right, next one. Build restrictions. Now this one's a bit more complicated. Steam. Other. Yeah. Yeah. I need to find out. I need to see what my improvised experimentation settings are so that I can put them in the description for the core scenario. Add or remove required items. Subscribed items. What's it called again? Override public. Hello? Steam, why are you like this? Come on. There we go. This can also be unlisted. A set of G menu build restrictions for use with salvage only survival scenarios. Set up for compatibility with, whoops, with my Scrapyard MES mod. Save. Back. Alright, that's that one done. Next up, we've got... So we've done build restrictions, we've done the spawn rover, done the jetpack. 1, 2, 3. I feel like I'm missing a mod. Ah. This one. MES settings. You don't have to worry about catching them because they still, like, the core mod is still going to link to these. I just don't want these ones showing up in general search because that'll confuse people. This mod alters the baseline MES settings to better suit a salvage only scenario using my Scrapyard MES mod. Change that to unlisted, yeah. Okay, and then finally the MES mod, the main bit. Publish. Steam. NPC. Okay. Mod showing up in Steam search? Well, I mean, you use Google to search Steam. At least that's how I do it. This is a collection of dilapidated and rusty buildings, rovers, and other bits and pieces set up for playing in a salvage only way. This is part of a larger pack of mods and a scenario which you can eventually find links to here once they're published. So that's Scrapyard. Now, I need to create a new scenario. New game. Custom game. Star system. Scrapyard scenario. Advanced. That's all fine. In-game scripts. Enable spectator. Turn off economy. Okay. Mods. Scrapyard build restrictions, Scrapyard jetpack, Scrapyard spawn rover, Scrapyard MES settings. And should I? I'm going to put my usual mods in. Because that's going to make this much easier for people. Because then you won't have to fix it up every time. So we got build vision, we got screen gunk be gone, we got the paint gun. What else? Does anyone else remember what I normally put in here? Oh yeah. False bullet trails. Sneaky sounds. Camera panning. I haven't put build info in because I know a lot of people haven't got the general settings for that. I'm not going to put the grabby hands mod in the scenario. But people you can add it yourself after. I'm not going to put it in by default. Okay. Start. The Colossus, you're lucky I'm not in a cheeky mood, because comments like that deserve a timeout. Oh, advanced welding! Ah! Of course. And yes, I did allow scripts. Also, apparently I've lost game sounds on that menu, which is weird. Okay. All right. I left progression on. That's progression. There it is. Good catch. All right. Now I need to go into my saves folder. Find Scrapyard scenario. Place my thumb with my don't think I saved it, because I saved it as the wrong file type. Oops. JPEG. Do this. Space engineers and publish. Exploration. Survival. Steam. Okay. Published to Steam has completed successfully. And there we are. We have our scenario. Hooray! It's published! And there you go. You guys can subscribe. Did I remember MES? No. Whoops. Huh. I need to fix something. Don't use it yet. It won't work. The core mod needs to have that as a required item first. Thank you for the reminder, people. Modular encounters spawner. Where is it? Systems, I mean. Save. There we go. Now it should all work. So yeah, that should be the only two dependencies of MES and the make things not public mod. So now open link, open link, open link, open link. Do a capac and have all the tabs. So, edit title and description. This is part of a larger pack of mods and a scenario. For the scenario containing all of the mods and settings I didn't set up. Dang it. Our core mod is not meant to be unlisted because the core mod is the only one that I'm leaving listed. But I didn't do a thing, which I need to do and update the scenario because I didn't turn off cleanup. Come on. No, I did not have creative mode tools enabled. Oh, I just caused it to crash. Apparently it doesn't like you opening the Alt F10 menu in the spawn menu. So, yeah. There's that. Let's load up the game and I'm actually going to have to spawn myself in. Come on. This is when I get impatient. What am I doing? Trash removal. Suspend. Should be it. And then we should be able to go... Doop. Yes. There we are. Now I can save. Exit main menu, and I can publish that again. There we are. That should fix those problems. I'm sure there's going to be more I've missed. I'm sure. But let's go back to the other thing I was doing. Let's start putting these in. For the scenario containing all of the mods and settings, head here. For the other mods that work with this one, head here. Got that one. That one. Oh, wait. Build restrictions. Probably do it like this. Build restrictions. What was the first one? S settings. Build restrictions. Jetpack. And spawn rover. Oh, wait, did I just... Oh, poop. The thumbnail got overwritten. Ugh. 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 Gotta fix that again. Because of course it did, because I saved the game again. No, I haven't saved anything with the gravity hand stuff. I'll sort that out shortly. I'm getting... That's getting ahead of myself. I want to do other things first. There we go. Back to the thing. Edit title and description. This is a salvage-only survival scenario. You will have blocks missing from your G menu. You must find them in the world in order to take control of them and add them whole to your construction. Updating world saves on Steam is extra cursed. True. This comes with a jetpack limiter. So jetpacks are only useful in space. A custom spawn rover. And a bunch of scrap to find in the world. Over time, I will continue to add extra grids to be found about the place. For the individual mods I've used, you can head to these unlisted pages. Also, including your usual array of quality of life mods. Save, back. Copy, save, back to my item. There we go. So they're all linked there. This says what it does. This says what it does. This says what it does. That says what it does. They all kind of say what they do. This one. That needs to be added. Now, let's have a quick look and see if I can... if you would like to use the improvised engineering experimental mods, these are the settings I would recommend to avoid it being overpowered. Let's see what I got. Here. It'll be my step into the scrapyard, storage, config. Save. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what the throw force is. Yeah, I don't know what the throw force is, but that should be everything you guys need to be able to play this now, I think. I hope. I'm absolutely sure that I will have missed something, but hopefully nothing catastrophic. And what I might also do is add edit images and videos. Videos, and we'll go to the original one, which is this one. And I might add it to this as well. There we go. Because in that one I talk about right at the start what's actually going on with it. Throw force is a setting? Oh, arm throw force. Ah, all right. Let's drop that. Just basically cancel it. I don't really want to throw force. There we go. Done. And yeah, you guys can do this, modify this stuff yourselves perfectly fine. I'm just leaving that there for people who want it. But there we go. We have a published scenario, which I'm going to chuck on the Discord as well. That should mean that everybody can play this now. And because the mods are independently published as well, people who run servers should be able to add those in pretty easily themselves and set things up the way they want. Oh, I do need to add something. I just realized. Trash cleanup should be off. If it is enabled, you will need to suspend it, or many of the grids will be removed before you have a chance to find them. Sweet. Okay. I think that's enough Space Engineers for today. So what I'm going to do is feel happy that I have published this thing and that it's out there for you guys to muck around with. And I'm going to take a quick bio break, and then I'm going to start messing around in some Icarus. So hang around for that. I'll be back in just a moment.